America, supposedly the land of the free, and yet the minorities in our nation are continually being neglected. Since the tragedy of 9/11, American Muslims have been subject to blatant discrimination. Suppose you are about to board a plane when you see a Muslim man studying his Quran and boarding the same plane. Most people would pause in fear. Because of the catastrophe of 9/11, Americans have an instilled fear of Muslims and the Islamic religion. Because of the horrible deeds of the Al-Qaeda, a stateless and multinational organization, the peaceful Muslims of America cannot live without fear of persecution. Since 9/11, there have been over 900 incidents of vandalism, arson, violence, and threats against people who are thought to be Muslim or Arab, according to the Department of Justice. And though Muslims make up less than 1% of the total American population, they are the targeted victims in over 15% of all cases of religious discrimination by groups such as Stop Islamization of America and Southern Poverty Law Center. However, intolerance manifests itself in other ways. 25% of all employment opportunities for Muslims are influenced by bias and discrimination, an increase of 150% from before 9/11. And in February of this year, the New York Times published a piece about law-abiding Muslims being spied on by the NYPD. Even the most lawful and honest Muslims live under scrutiny. However, groups like the Council on American Islamic Relations and the Islamic Society of North America work to unify the people of North America by encouraging dialogue that helps to promote the understanding of Islamic traditions, empowering American Muslims, and building coalitions that promote justice and mutual understanding. Organizations like CAIR and ISNA work for the civil liberties of Muslims. CAIR mostly works on a smaller scale, working for the creation of mosques, the Muslim place of worship, and hosting events that enlighten the community about Islam. ISNA works on a national scale, staging nonviolent protests, promoting Muslim representatives in government, and lobbying for the creation of laws like the Freedom of Information Act that would block the mistreatment of Muslims and prevent the withholding of American citizenship unjustly. A poll last August found that 54% of Republicans, 27% of Democrats, and 40% of independents feel unfavorably towards Muslims. We will march the streets of Washington to lobby for the rights of Muslims in America. We will lobby in Congress as well as change the opinions of lawmakers in our country in order to pass nonviolent laws that protect the civil rights of Muslims. We will know that we have reached our goals when these governmental laws are passed that allow Muslims to live completely carefree in America and live an equal life politically, socially, and economically to the other races and religious groups. It is time for America to accept and unify its people. It is time for all Americans to truly have the right to practice the freedom of religion they deserve.